Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Critical Hits podcast. My name is Trainer Scout.
I'm Genelak Gaming. And
this
is
is
Critical
Hits. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you guys are having a very wonderful week because we have had quite a productive week. We've made a couple of changes to how we're going to do things in regards to the podcast. We've also made some changes in our personal life and our business lives, trying to cooperate on where we want the future of Critical Hits to go and where he wants the future of Genelak Gaming to go and where I want the future of Scout to progress. And we also had, in that same realm of conversation, other very successful content creators making decisions that will progress their careers and hopefully progress the lives of prospective vendors in a sense, right? So, Genelak, I think you already know what I'm talking about, yes?
Oh, man, I just can't wait to get trained up. You know what I mean?
I can't either, buddy. I can only imagine what secrets are going to be taught to me
Now,
in
listen.
this mentorship.
listen. So, yes, we're talking about Jar Chomp and Uyama.
Yep.
And I think that this was marketed wrong.
Okay.
I actually don't think it's... People are saying it's not worth the money, like, it's a joke, blah, 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 blah. I think I might disagree there. And the reason for that is because, as you know, this hobby, especially the business side of this hobby, is all about relationships.
Yep.
And, they marketed this as a mentorship to teach you how to vend. But in there, like, the last bullet was, like, the networking.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, listen, that right there, like, sometimes you have to go buy tables at a show, a bigger show, fly there, and be a part of an event in order to get a chance at networking.
Yep.
That's going to cost you $2,000, right? All in.
Yep.
And so I think that's really interesting because now you have somebody who's already in the network and they can introduce you to people. So you have guaranteed networking. So I would have marketed this differently. I get where they're coming from. They're trying to make it instructional. They're trying to take people from the very start.
Yep.
I honestly think you could have just called it a networking event and charged the $2,000 or had
absolutely.
like tiers for it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you entirely. I do think that, again, they have the freedom to host a mentorship class, right? But that also gives people the freedom to shit on it because that's the truth of it, right? And they are two very successful vendors and two successful content creators.
Yeah.
So the image that this presents, right? I'll say the opportunities, right, that it opens up for other creators. They're leading the charge into what a lot of people are perceiving as extremely negative because I did make a video that was, hey guys, you're free to do whatever you want, yada yada yada, but here's some free chicken for you, right? And giving 3 free tips. There's so many creators right now that can give all these free tips, so I agree with you that it was marketed wrong because it is definitely one of those like, hey, you guys are going to have to pay money or you're going to have to figure out some way to market yourselves and have the community learn about you. And what better way to do that than through somebody like Jar Chomp and Oyama, right? So, no, I agree with you entirely. I do think that the idea of charging for mentorship in a sense of creating more successful vendors is dumb. It is ridiculous.
But here's the thing. It's not an unheard of thing, right? Like, I play a lot of Pokemon Go. I have individuals reach out to me for coaching. Right? I try to reply on comments all the time, but I've had people actually reach out and say, hey, will you do coaching for me? And that's very common in the gaming space to do coaching sessions where you have a Patreon and, you take 5 slots, right? And I wouldn't be charging $2,500, but the value that I'm giving away is also not $2,500.
Yep.
People can make a lot of money doing vending. So I think that it is... They're very proven as vendors, but they're not proven as mentors. And I think that's the piece for me where it's like, I would have probably started with like some of the stuff that I was just talking about of like, high level coaching before you do like this deep dive mentorship program, $2,500. It just feels very high risk, high reward. Yeah. Because like, what if these people get nothing out of this? You know what I mean? Like,
well, you know what this is extremely reminiscent of?
What?
Mystic 7. You remember when he tried to put on that a program that was, hey, if you join this program, you are going to get cheaper tables at card shows. You're going to get better network accessibility, right? With content creators, card
That
show
did not
hosts,
turn
so on
out well.
and that did not go well, right? Now, granted, that was on a much bigger scale than what Jar Chomp and Oyama are
Yeah,
doing,
that
and
was
it
a
was a
whole
little bit
company.
different because it wasn't mentorship. It was literally Brandon's way of saying, let's build some market, or excuse me, let's build a network for accessibility, right? Versus
Right.
where these guys are focusing directly on here's how you can meet us and here's how you can meet the people we know.
Right. And I want to be very clear about something too. I don't know any of these people as individuals. I am taking this at face value based on what I'm hearing and seeing on the internet. So
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, there's guys. I'll say this. I've already said my piece. I would not do a mentorship program only because of how much free knowledge is out there, right? And
I
and,
think you
and
can teach
vendors,
yourself a lot, a lot.
yeah, but again,
Like,
you can watch vendor POVs to take notes. Like I know this is a weird way to say this, but it's like watching film. Okay, what made this deal so successful, right? Now, what was the topic of the deal? Was it a vintage card? Was it a modern card? Single,
I
slab,
just
graded, right? There, you would literally watch film, and then you can watch people. Not to toot my own horn, right? But you can watch people that give out tips, right? And there's a
yeah.
lot of people out there that do like, hey guys, this is what my spreadsheet looks like for tracking data. Okay, because that's one of the
Yep.
hardest things in
I
the
did the
world.
same
And
thing
then
with my buy sheets.
exactly, and then you can do,
Yeah.
watch people that are like, okay, here's how you set up an LLC. Here's how you get an EIN. Here's how you get your tax code, so on and so forth. Right? There's so
Yeah.
many different ways for you to get this knowledge for free, and I would rather take the $2,500 and I would rather put it towards table fees because table
Yeah.
fees
Well,
are not cheap or product, right? Because to get started, you really only need one table. You need one table and you need a good bit of desirable product.
now I'll say this: I was watching a TikTok the other day of a guy who was giving out free chicken, and he was saying that one of the biggest improvements he made to his vending is he got two tables, because you would be shocked how hard it was for people to view you with just one table. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You get with two tables. That's where he noticed a large increase in foot traffic, sales, because it gave people enough time to kind of look at the table.
Yep.
So that's free chicken right there. Right now, what I'll say is this. Again, I think it's just a marketing. This was a marketing pitfall, because
Yep.
I don't think that this is catered towards the general masses. I don't think this is catered. They didn't say how many slots are available. If I'm them and I'm doing a mentorship program, I didn't see it. Maybe they did. Right?
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
they said
it was
10 slots or
yeah, I thought it was 10. I
100.
could be wrong.
I have no idea. Right? But so what I'll say is, this was clearly meant for individuals who have started a vending business already,
Mm-hmm.
right? You've already set something up. You've probably gone to a number of shows,
Yep.
and you're trying to take it to the next level,
Yep.
right? And I will be interested to see the client testimonials that come out of it, right? Because people are going to do
Absolutely.
this. There are so many people vending right now, and if Jar Chomp and Oyama can get 10 people to be from a small to medium-sized vendor to be a player in the space,
Mm-hmm.
great.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh,
Probably worth it, honestly.
yeah, and I mean, if you have even the slightest inkling that you can mesh with Jar Chomp in some way, or Jar Chomp
Oh
and his
yeah,
wife, right?
collaborate with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, a
Yeah.
following that size, you are going to pay that much just to editors to try to build your brand and get you contracts for creation, right?
Which I
So
don't know, did he say that they provide editing too?
I not a clue,
Yeah.
not a clue. I
Just
didn't read.
depends on what's in the package.
Yeah, I didn't read that much into the package, right? Again, we're judging this at, face value because
Yeah.
a lot of people are, right? And it's just one of those things where we can be as positive or negative as we want to about it, but at the end of the day, people are still going to pick what they want to do. If they want to spend 2 grand on learning
I think
from
people I think
somebody
people were
successful,
overly
do it.
negative about this though. That's why I liked your take. Like, if you don't want to be one of the 10 people, don't be one of the 10 people,
Yeah.
right? Like, clearly these guys have a large enough following that they think that they can fill 10 slots. And
Oh, there's
hopefully
no way
those
you
10.
can't fill 10 slots. I mean,
Right.
yeah, you guys, you see how well their podcast does and how many people they always get on and how many people watch their live streams. Yeah, there are 10 dedicated fans that
It's
would love to pay $2,500 just if it meant, hey, you're co-located here. I'm doing a card show there. Come out to dinner, right? There are people
Yeah,
that would
exactly.
absolutely pay 2 grand to go meet Jar Chomp.
At least they're not doing a course that they try to mass sell to the populace. You know what I'm trying to
Hmm.
say? Like,
Yeah.
I would argue if you think about this, at $2,500 times 10, right? That's 25 grand. No offense,
Yeah.
but like Jar Chomp, I'm sure just by himself easily clears 25K in sales at a card show.
Man, maybe this might be overestimating him. I would say he probably clears 25 grand in the first, we'll say half of the day, right? Because you can
That's what
only
I'm saying.
imagine how many
So
people walk up to this table and are like, hey, I want to do a trade with you. I want to buy from you, right? I want your content. I mean, dude, we had, shout out to Keon and Collectors
yeah,
Realm team for coming over to the card show this past weekend. But,
yep,
we had people that would literally line up at the door and at the table because all they wanted to do was just trade with him, right?
right.
That's so that I can only imagine what that looks like, for other creators that, are slightly bigger and slightly more well known in the YouTube space, right?
You know what's funny about this? The more that we talk about this, the less of a big deal it feels like.
Yeah, I would agree with you entirely. It
Like
doesn't
the more
it feels like it was blown out of proportion, and at this point nobody should really care about it, right? It was like a
right.
one yeah, it was a one-day news
It's
article
10
and that's it.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 10 people. I think a lot of people nowadays get sticker shock. They see $2,500 and like it blows their mind that anybody would be willing to drop that amount of money. But if you're running a business and you're doing, you know, 10K in sales every weekend
Yeah.
and you want to take that to 50K and you spend $2,500 to get there, pretty good return,
I mean, think about
right?
the
So,
sales classes and real estate classes in the late 90s and early 2000s. That's
right.
exactly what that was. Hey, come on. Let's pay $2,000 and bring your team out here and we'll explain to you guys exactly how to sell.
Right.
And the entire class is just what do we used to call it? Basically Fabian tactics, right?
Yeah.
Of just
Well, and
here's
if
a
Jar
couple of
Chomp has a
distraction good
client list
stories.
too,
Oh yeah.
that's what I'll say. Now I'll say this though. I agree with you. There's so much free chicken. So
Mhm.
I would take a like more than a college try at
Yeah.
getting all this ready, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to like another great resource is PokeNE, right? Brian over at pokene.com.
God, you
I feel like he
love
gives out
Brian.
free tidbits out all the time.
Oh
One of my
yeah.
favorite tips that he just was talking about was you need to own your customer, right?
Mhm.
And that's why he has a Wix site because he gets their email, he gets their name, he gets their information, so that he is not beholden to if whatnot goes down or has a scandal or Facebook gets shut down or TikTok gets shut down. Doesn't matter to him because he has the emails and he has his own business,
Yep.
right? And again, that's free chicken. That's just another example. So
Yeah.
all in all, I don't think it's a big deal, dude. I really don't. I say good on them. Again, I don't know them as people, but those 10 people, I hope they get the value. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I hope if you guys did jump on Jar Chomp's mentorship class, let us know down in the comments below. We'd love
Yeah,
to hear about it. I mean, I'm genuinely
come on the
curious.
pod. We would love to have you on. Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
Or Jar Chomp. If Jar Chomp or Uyama want to come on
yeah.
and talk about their experience being mentors, because I can tell you firsthand that's not that easy.
I was gonna say, dude,
So
that's not easy at all. It
no,
is arguably one of the hardest things to do, especially because people have such high expectations of you in the moment, right? Depending on
100%.
how well they know you or they know your content, right? So they're gonna come
Yeah.
into it thinking, okay, you're gonna teach me all the recipe for success. I'm not gonna have to do anything except
I'm gonna be
write down
you
everything
in
you
by
say.
the end of this course. All the
Hmm.
things you did and built over years, I'm just gonna instantly become that. I hope that they don't
Yeah.
think that's the case because that's just not realistic.
Yeah, and now if Jar Chomp can make that happen, good on him,
Then
right?
I'll sign up.
Yeah,
Dude, if
right.
Jar Chomp can make that happen, all $2,500, I'll go sign up.
Yeah,
Come on.
dude, that's too
I
easy. I
think
mean,
anybody would.
you're basically betting $2,500 to hopefully make. I mean, in a case, right? We'll say in a vendor weekend. Let's say my average right now in sales from a weekend over here in the UK, or I say in a card show,
Yeah.
is about 3,600 pounds, right, in a
Okay.
day in sales. Okay, which
Yep.
I mean isn't a ton of money, right, in the state
Sure.
side and comparatively. But if I were to spend $2,500 and thinking that 2,500 could increase my yield at a card show by 30%, and I'm doing one
Yeah.
card show a weekend, yeah, dude. I mean, that's it's hard to say no, because I've got
Right.
enough
Yeah.
profit built in, and $2,500 is set to the side. That let's see what this market accessibility can get me.
I mean, you'd pay it off in like 3 or 4 shows,
Yeah, I
right?
mean,
Like
you could
that's
pay
the
it off in
thing.
one show, right? It just depends.
Well, but you know, 30% increase, 3,600, which is about, $900, blah blah
Yeah,
blah blah blah.
yeah.
Anyway,
See, what a smart guy. You guys thought that this man had nothing going on in his dome
hey,
except Pokemon Go.
listen. It
And
does take up
Pokemon
a lot of
noises.
real estate. It takes a lot of real estate up there. There's a lot of numbers in Pokemon Go.
Well, you got a big brain,
Um,
dude. Big dome.
Big brain, big dome. Well, you have a bigger dome than I do, I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy talk. Because, guys, I am like 11 inches shorter than him. I don't know. This guy's got at least 65 pounds on me and 11 inches. There is no way in hell that
Oh,
my big
65
ass.
is very generous too. That's very nice of you, actually.
No, no, come on, dude. I weigh a buck 95 right now.
Yeah, 65 pounds is very generous. That's very nice of
Well, okay, guys, he's also 6'4.5". Okay, so you need to understand that. I'm 5'7". So if you guys are watching these videos, you're just kind of like, oh yeah, this podcast, man, these guys are average height 5'10". You gotta get not a chance. I'm a shrimp, and this man is a giant.
You know who doesn't have a big brain?
Who?
They are not using any dome space whatsoever. GameStop.
I've got a feeling you are incredibly upset about this, and I cannot wait to hear the Genilac rant.
Listen,
The floor is yours, buddy.
This is not a series, to be clear, but I will rant because this is nuts to me. I'm going to go on record to say if you're buying from GameStop right now, you're an idiot. You are dumb. You are the problem. You're the problem because I don't know if anybody noticed this, but Pokemon released their MSRP listings for the 30th anniversary set. And the only thing that stood out to me, Scout, how much is a UPC? How much is the Pokemon Center charging for an ultra premium collection?
I mean, when Celebrations came out, they charged $300, so I would say $300.
Nope, $179.99 USD.
Oh, okay.
How much do you think GameStop is selling it for?
Shot in the dark, 350.
Yeah, like 300 would make sense, right? It's like, oh, that's kind of nope. $600.
Dude, are you serious?
$600 for one ultra premium collection box.
I haven't looked at any of the product that's coming in the ultra premium box. Are there is it the Umbreon and Espeon
It doesn't
promo?
matter. That is a $420 increase from MSRP. That is insane.
That's disgusting, dude.
So this is the Charizard UPC thing all over again, where they listed the Charizard UPCs. You remember this? The Mega Charizards for, I think, what was it? 200? What was the number?
Yeah.
And the community stood on business. Shout out to the community. Those things were stacked up. If anybody goes out and buys this for $600, you are insane. You are an insane person, first of all, because $600, I don't know who's walking around with that, because, by the way, there are two of them. So if you want both UPCs, it's $1,200.
Yeah, there's no UPC that I like. The Celebrations UPC, I've got a sealed
that's
one on
not
my
even
shelf.
Yeah.
Dude, that's $1,000, and I've been offered $1,000 every time for that UPC, and I think I'm gonna hold on to it for a while because the gold Charizard, gold Pikachu, right? Those are super hard to get your hands on right now, and they're hard to get their hands on in perfect condition. So I will always hold that UPC until I need to sell it.
Yeah, but like, if you buy a UPC for $600, you would have to hold that for an eternity. So basically what I'm getting at here is I don't know who GameStop thinks they are, but they are effectively holding the community hostage. They are trying to hold the community hostage. You know that they're getting a large allocation, right? And they are basically telling the entire community, giant middle finger to you, this is how much we want stuff to cost. So I pray, now to be clear, this is them loading it into their back-end system, so maybe they just loaded it on, and that's the default number. But if this is true, I hope GameStop goes out of business. I want it to fail. Like, I want it to go all the way to the ground. I'm tired of this, right? Like, they used to be a place where you go buy and sell and trade, right? Mm-hmm. And right now,
they were the original vendor.
It feels predatory.
Yep.
All I could say is they feel like a national vendor that is preying upon the weak. And I hope that the LGSs take note of this, and any allocations they get, I really hope they don't bump them to be anywhere near GameStop. If I see an LGS that matches GameStop prices, I will let every employee in that store know how I feel about that. And that includes all the stores near me. So don't do it. Do not do it, or I will go viral on your
Bro, you know they're gonna do it. You know every single
Don't.
LGS. Okay, I won't say every single. You will know that a majority of LGSs will do that. They will put their prices at the same as GameStop. And you got to remember this, right? Have you seen all the videos about people that got pitch black early? 3 weeks early. Have you seen those videos?
Brother, dude, there are so many content creators I've seen. Like
Yeah.
literally, I think I've seen probably 10 plus creators with
Mhm.
early access to Pitch Black. Like to be clear, pre-release events haven't even happened yet in my area. Like this is nuts.
They haven't happened anywhere, dude. You want to know why they're getting all that product? Is because the distribution warehouses are saying, you know what? Why don't we just sell some of these ETBs at X price, right?
Before they're actually
Before
distributing it?
before they're actually, yes, dude. You gotta remember a lot of these, and it's not like, they're selling them at, $2 to $5 a pack, right? They're selling them for a nice fat markup where everybody on Whatnot, is charging $16 to $18 per
Yeah.
pack for Pitch Black. And people are paying it, right? Because they want to get it early. And
This
then,
goes back
which is
to
which
I
is
wish.
crazy to me because they want to get it early. What was advantageous about getting product super early and paying the premium prices to open the packs and get a chance at getting a big hit was because you were then going to send it off to go get graded, and you were going to send it express for
Yep.
$50, right, or $75 to get it back in a month, and then you were going to sell it for its highest point. Right, that's what you were doing. But now
Yeah,
with
that's what you would do.
PSA increasing prices so high, and with the turnaround times being months, and the lowest tier being $80 and express being 150, hell no, dude. There's no point in doing that, right? So why is it
You would have to
still
sell the
as
Darkrai
successful
for
for them to do
1,000.
it? But yeah, why is it still as
Well,
successful for them to do it now versus?
no. For the creators, they don't even care. For
Well, I
the
know the
creators,
creators don't care. I'm
yeah,
talking about
for
the
the
collectors
creators,
that are
it's so that
buying.
they could rip it first, right? And show people the cards, and it's the clout and it's the views, right?
Yes.
So they're for views. I don't know. This goes back to I wish the Pokemon Company was a closed system. I
Yeah.
don't think they need distribution centers. I don't think they need distribution companies. I don't think they should be partnered with MJ Holdings. I don't think they should be partnered with any of these guys.
No,
I
they
think they
shouldn't.
should build their infrastructure and handle it themselves. Bring some
Yep.
Pokemon centers over to the US and let's do it.
Yeah.
Like that's how I would like to see this go down. It will never happen. So the only thing we could do is talk with our wallets. Talk
Yeah.
with your
And
wallet.
look, will it work? Hopefully, but I don't know how many people are. We'll say how many people are sitting on their thumbs and saying, "Yeah, I'm not gonna buy any of this, product at $600, right?" Dude, think about it. You're gonna see everybody's talking about the secondary market, right? They're gonna look at the price on TCG Player, and everybody's gonna say, "You know what? That's what it's going for, so that's what I'm paying."
Dude, it's too rich for my blood though. That's the problem. It's
Dude,
like
the majority of the hobby's too rich for my blood right now. That's why I've been ripping the hell out of Naruto.
yeah, but like this is crazy because like you have to be very well off to go buy this product. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
I mean you're starting to reach when you get to $600 a box.
Mhm.
Brother, that's like a weekly paycheck.
Dude, that's ill.
That's crazy. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you got imagine let's say that you make, take home let's say you make 100,000 a year,
Yeah.
right? You make $100,000 a year. Well, after tax, that's really like 75K,
Yep.
right? And then from there, you got 75K divided by 12, right? You got bills. Most of those folks, I don't know what it's like over in the UK, but most of those folks, they don't they have probably, let's call it, yeah, $600 a month of fun money. So you're trying to tell me that you're going to spend an entire month's worth of fun money on one box?
There are people that will do it. They will
It's crazy.
absolutely do it.
That's crazy. You better freaking love, dude. If you don't get the hits out of there, I could see you. Listen, that's some mental health problems. You go in there and you waste an entire month's of fun. That's rough.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
you're drinking Skull for the rest of the month.
but
That's like
that's FOMO, bro. That is what is going to happen. It's the 30th anniversary, right? And the fact that by the way, I hate the fact that we didn't even think about this, but I love the fact that they executed this, is Need Arena being the 30th Pokemon and being the highlight promo and having 30, shout out to M Chompite for figuring all this out, having the
Yep,
30
we
Need
love
Arena
him.
running around the screen with damage doing 30, or excuse me, the attack doing 30 damage and the ability healing 30 damage. Fantastic. Absolutely love that they did that. But the
Yep.
30th anniversary is going to be so much bigger than we think, because I think now that they're releasing products, okay, they're going to start releasing some of the cards and some of the newer, we'll say, dynamics that are going to happen in the
Yeah.
TCG, right? Because we just got the release for Mega Rayquaza EX and one of the stadium cards that's coming out. I don't know if you saw my video, dude, but it's a half stadium card, right? So 2 halves make a full freaking stadium. Oh my God, I'm so excited, right? The
How does
door
that
that
work though? Does
opens.
that mean that one player has to play one side and
Nope.
the other player has to play the
No, no,
other
no.
side,
You
or you
have
can
to,
just play both sides?
you have to play, you have to play both cards at the same time. It's like Transformation Tome. You need to have 2 Transformation Tomes in your hand to
I
play
don't
it.
see how it benefits you though.
Oh, it benefits, Mega Rayquaza EX. It absolutely does.
So it benefits if people are running a Mega deck, but the problem is that it works for both sides. So if it's a Mega Ray deck versus another Mega,
Yeah.
the benefit is the same for both, isn't it?
Technically, right? But it's
You
yeah.
see what I'm getting at here?
Yes, yes. It's so
What it really
all
does is it
dude, all
wrecks
stadiums.
single prize decks. It wrecks single prize decks.
Depends, right? Depends on what single price deck you're running. Because dude, funny enough, there's a deck that's not getting any playability right now, and any spotlight, and it's Iono's Belly Bolt EX. Well, Mega Rayquaza is weak to electric, and
Sure.
Iono's Belly Bolt and Electabuzz and Mega Manectric are the 3 primary electric type decks in the format. Mega Manectric will always have a little bit more viability than Iono's
Sure.
Belly Bolt or Electabuzz, right? But I think Iono's Belly Bolt is going to be the barrier to playing that is a lot easier, and I think it's going to be a similar Zoroark deck, right?
But
Where you
again,
can play the Transformation
the
Tomes and
stadium
you can
still
cycle them in.
benefits. The stadium still benefits both sides there. That's what I'm saying.
Every stadium benefits both sides. Your stadium is not exclusive to you.
Well, it depends on what the stadium is. If the stadium is type specific, then it only benefits the deck that's playing that type.
Well, yes, you're correct, right? We're getting into the nitty gritty about the TCG itself. No,
somebody's been studying, by the way.
You have. I'm a little I'm a little shocked. Why are you studying for the TCG so much? You mentioned that right before we started.
I can't help it. I like when you go to a card show and you just keep reading all the cards, like you just start to, as a gamer, I just started metagaming and I started theory crafting, and I can't, like, it's a sickness.
See,
It's a sickness.
there you. Why couldn't he do this years ago? Why couldn't he do this when we actually started playing the dude? What the hell? Why are you doing that now? You're supposed to go pro in VGC. You're not supposed to go pro in the TCG. That's my lane.
It should be clear, I'm going pro in Pokemon Go to start, and then if it's too hard, I'll move to the VGC because it's easier.
Dude, there's no way that I like Pokemon Go. That's a hard. I know you're an expert on that, but like
it's so
that's
hard.
going to be so difficult.
The level of focus it takes in the game is like the insane part. But I will say this, and I'll go on record saying this: if there is a ranked format to Wind and Waves, which, by the way, I have seen that there are leaks that are starting to happen. I swear to God, people, if you send me these leaks, I will ban you. I will send a cease and desist letter. My Google pops something up. I get like Google alerts.
Yeah.
And it said, "Are you interested?" And I did the third option where it's like not interested. No, I reported it. I was like, "Do not show me leaks, Google." And it was like, "Whoa, okay, fine." But anyway, if there is a ranked system to Wind and Waves that mirrors Legend Z to A, and they bring that to Worlds, you can kiss Pokemon Go goodbye. I will do nothing but that game mode. Because I loved the Legend Z to A rank style. It was not balanced. There are things that they need to do to balance it, but I think that they will do that with Wind and Waves, so I'm game.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Actually, buddy, okay, I wanted to ask you this because I completely forgot that I had made this video the other day, and it went semi-viral. It just got a lot of attention, a lot of engagement on Facebook and Instagram, and because you had mentioned the TCG and you were reading some of the cards. Well, now that we've been talking about all the vendor bits, I have to ask you this. When you're looking at a trading card and it has a crease, is it damaged? Yes or no?
If it has a crease?
If it has a crease,
Damaged.
and okay, so now does the size come into play? If the crease is only
No.
4 millimeters, or if the crease is
No.
across the whole card, is it damaged or not?
Well, it's damaged, but if it's across the whole card, it's like really damaged.
Okay, so I made this video a while back. A lot of you guys have actually seen this video, which thank you for that, and a lot of people
That's
have been
just the
supportive of me.
definition.
Yes. Okay. So if you look on TCG Player, right, and it breaks down mint, near mint, light play, moderate play, heavy play, and damaged. In heavy play, it references it references creases. Right.
Yeah.
But,
if
then
there's
you go
a crease,
to damage.
it's damaged.
Well, so okay, but that's what I'm saying is TCG Player says that heavily played. That's where creases fall under. So if your card is creased, and we'll say, it's
really,
yeah, oh yeah, dude. And I was like, this is so dumb. I hate the definition of heavy play. Okay, because as soon as you put crease is damage. That is damage to the card, right?
Listen,
so
if
when
you
go
submit
from
a card
moderate
with
play
a crease to PSA, they are going to immediately drop it to their damaged tier.
Yeah, it's going to be like a PSA 4 or 5.
Yes.
Yes. It drives me nuts when I saw it because somebody commented this, and I have to say it on the podcast because I was so freaking mad. It was the dumbest comment I've ever seen. And in it was, if the crease is fixable, it's not damage. And I thought,
what do you mean fixable, bro?
Genelec, I grabbed my phone and gripped it so tight I could feel it shattering. I said, you wait a second. So if I snapped my pinky off right now, if I broke it, okay, but it's going to heal. I know it's going to heal. I know it's going to be fixed. It's fixable, right?
It was never broken.
It's not damaged, right?
Never broken, baby.
No, wait a minute now. If I ran over a nail in my car, right, and I pop my tire, it's not damaged because it's fixable, right? Does that make sense? That absolutely.
Sure. That means I've never broken a bone in my body. Yeah. Because I don't actively have a broken bone right now.
Yeah, it's not damaged. I swear to God, I was losing my freaking mind. I was so mad. I wish I could find the comment and pop it up right here because it irritated me to no extent. I was like, this is an argument that my wife would bring up. And then I told it. I told it to my wife. I was like, hey babe, did you see this guy's stupid ass comment? And she was like, well, and I said, hell no, yeah. Absolutely not. Nope, we're not getting into this. And she goes, well, and no, shut up. Don't even say the well. I don't want to hear it.
That feels so bad when your wife takes the commenter's side too. It'll happen from time to time.
Oh, dude, I was angry, but I had to ask because this guy, dumb as a box of rocks. I have never, I don't know the guy. I never want to know the guy. Look, thank you for watching my content and thank you for commenting and driving engagement, all that BS. But you made me angry. You made me so freaking mad.
I want to circle back real quick too, because the GameStop stuff.
Yeah.
The one thing that we didn't mention, because it does make me angry. The one thing we didn't mention is I do think you'll be able to find product cheaper. There was a lot of doom and gloom. I know for a fact that Target isn't going to be upping their prices. None of the big box stores are going to be upping their prices. It's going to be hard to get.
Yep.
And I do know that there are good LGSs out there that are not going. They might bump it a little, right? You probably will not find MSRP at a shop unless it is an exceptional shop.
Yeah. And
when I say that, I mean like shout out to Tabletop Village, right, in Seattle. They are one of the premier shops here, and I know for a fact that they always do some kind of MSRP drop for their members. They're very fair about it. So I know that that's not exclusive to the Seattle area. When the market dips and you can find stuff everywhere, or you could walk into Target and you could go pick up a box off the shelf while you're getting your groceries, because that time will come again. And remember that, because you need to go back to the LGS and pay it forward again, right? And buy from them when times are good for the consumer too. We need to see a little loyalty in this community. Anyway, I had to circle back to that because I don't want people to think that you have to choose whether or not you're paying $600 or not. There will be product out there.
Yes, I agree with Genelec entirely. There will be product out there. It will be hard to get your hands on, but guys, when you do get your hands on it, do not forget what this hobby was meant for, right? Do not forget to rip. Do not forget to trade.
Okay? Never keep it sealed. Always rip it. My favorite audio from TikTok. Shout out to that guy. Don't even know his name, but that is the most inspirational thing. And that's coming from a sealed guy. It made me start wanting to rip into my stuff.
I would put that at the same level of should I open it or should I keep it sealed?
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Because that was organic too, right? Like he
Mhm.
made that and then other people started using the audio. Whereas DPM, he just, he's like, I don't know how many episodes, like 700 episodes into Should I Open It or Should I Keep It Sealed? No, never
Wild, by
keep
the
it
way.
sealed. Always rip it. Oh, it's always the next pack. I love that. I love everything about it.
It's a hype moment, dude. It's actually a really, really, really good audio.
It's a great video.
Yeah.
The video actually I'd say the video is like B tier, but the audio is SS triple
I
S
don't think
tier.
I've actually seen that video for the
I
the
went and I
original.
clicked on the audio to find the original.
Oh,
I
you
had to see
did?
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd have to do yeah, I'd have to track that down. I do want to see it now because this is
Next
one
time you
thing that
hear
I
the
do
audio,
miss. I do miss like the TikTok audio trends, that you would do for like your collections.
they're still there.
No, I
People are
know,
still
right?
doing
But
it.
it's not TikTok's so chopped, dude.
I know. I
Yeah,
know.
it's so bad. You don't want to put any, content out there right now.
I mean, I'll put content on TikTok, but it's not my focus.
Oh God, no, absolutely not. But
Yeah.
hey, speaking of guys, somebody asked me a question this weekend at the show, and it was, "Hey, how should I get into content creation, especially in the Pokemon community?" Just real quick, free chicken, record. That's it.
Yeah, it's real tough.
Yeah.
Record and post to your desired social media channel. And if you don't think you can stay consistent, treat it like the gym. Go find an accountability buddy. What do you think the Critical Hits podcast started as? Right? Me and Scout were both like, hey, we need to get online together because
Mm-hmm.
it's a slog right now. And
Yep.
so find somebody to record with if you think that will help you.
Yeah.
Right? It takes more coordination, right?
Oh,
Maybe
absolutely.
maybe don't move, halfway across the world, abandon your friend and everyone that you love.
Yep.
But other than that,
Thanks,
I'm sure
pal.
the
Way to
UK
rat
people
me
are
out.
I'm
God, these
sure the
people
UK
probably
people are
hate me now.
thrilled that they stole you from
Oh
us.
my lord. Well, actually, dude, I forgot. I was going to ask you this question because this was traumatizing. It was a part of my free chicken that I gave to people, right?
Oh,
But
okay.
it happened this weekend. So, a part of the video that I recorded, I had asked people what their pet peeves were about
Sure.
vendors. Okay, they told
Uh-huh.
me that a vendor tried to take their PSA 9 graded card and
Uh-huh.
buy it at a raw price, right? They were just like, hey, and the reason was because they were going to crack it and put it in their binder, right?
So
They told it
wait,
to
so
them, they
somebody
told
tried
it
to
to
buy
them to
that
their
from a
face.
vendor or the vendor tried to do it?
The vendor, like a customer brought
Okay.
up a PSA 9 card,
Nope.
right? And
Nope.
and tried to
Nope.
do business with them, and they were like, hey, so PSA 9
I
goes for
don't
like
care what you do with it.
$350, raw goes for 300. The vendor said, look, I'm gonna crack it. Okay, so I am not going to value this at 350. I'm going to value it at 300, and then I'm going to give you my, percentage after that 300. And I was
I'm
like,
on
dude,
to the next vendor. I'm
bro,
on to the next vendor immediately.
I was flabbergasted. It's like there's no way. There is no way that actually happened. And then I made the
Brother,
video and I started getting sent videos by vendors currently in the space that are doing that. They're going viral for doing that. And I can't wrap my mind around it. It's graded. It is graded. It doesn't
this
matter.
this this goes back to something that I said a couple episodes ago about
Mhm.
a lot of the community is driven based on vendor behavior, right? And because vendors are they are the we'll call them the middleman,
Yeah.
right? For everybody.
Yeah.
And so that's why PSA does so well because the vendors want PSA.
Yep.
I was at a card show over the weekend, Maximum Card Show, and I knew a lot of people that kept going up to this one guy's booth. I walked over there. I was like, I wonder why so many people are going up to this guy's booth. Wonder why they went up to his booth? Because he had tag. He had tag slabs. And there were a lot of people interested in tag. And I asked him. He had pretty high end tag too. I asked him, how are sales? He goes, you know what? They're pretty steady. Right? Like I've sold 5 or 6 slabs. It was like halfway through the day. He's like, I've sold 5 or 6 slabs. And these were big slabs, right? These are SIRs and the chromatic, he had like the monochromatics, right? Zekrom and Reshiram. And so, that's a good amount of sales. You do 5
Oh, yeah.
slabs at, let's call it an average of $500. That's $2,500 in sales. So he had some PSA, sure. But he also took tag and sold tag. And so I think the vendors need a wake-up call. You need to quit trying to decide what your customer wants don't wait for a customer to come up and ask you if you have tag slabs.
Yep.
You should probably just have a couple, right? Just have a couple, because you're going to lose that sale if you don't have it yet, right?
I love that.
So I love the vendors that have all three. I don't personally collect CGC, and guess what? Your boy bought a CGC slab.
No, you did not.
I did.
What was it?
Oh, you're gonna be so proud. You want me to go? You want me to grab it? You want to see it?
Just tell me it. I'm like, I want to know.
It is the Dragonite Crosshatch Hollow League Winner promo.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
The one where he's got his back kind of turned and the tail is straight up.
I'm gonna.
Yep, that's exactly. Price. That's awesome.
So why did I buy this card? Because I'd never seen it before. I didn't care what the slab was.
Yeah.
I'd never seen this card. And so to me, I was like, I'm going to buy it. Now, for me personally, I'm a psychopath. It's a CGC 9.5. I don't care about PSA. I want this in a tag slab. So I'm probably going to crack this and send it in a tag because I like tag slabs. And yeah, that's the end of that. But anyway, so I guess what I'm getting at here is vendors need to vend and stop trying to be market manipulators.
Yep.
And the problem I have is that if all of them, they all talk. Yeah. Hey guys, we're all buying PSA 9s at Raw, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yep.
You always hear these stories of the one vendor who doesn't do that, and then all the other vendors get pissed at them. Like, you undercut me, bro. No, I just bought it at the value.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's this little listen, vendors shape up. If the card is graded, buy it at the grade. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's graded. If you're gonna crack it. But you could be lying.
Yeah.
Listen, I know every vendor has never lied in their life, right? And they are angels sent from heaven above. But listen, you guys be lying sometimes, and you say you're gonna crack it, and then you don't.
Yep.
So let's just be real here and pay it for what it is. Okay, if it's PSA 9, pay it a PSA 9, or I would give you whichever price is higher. That'd be cool.
Hey,
if you're a real stand-up
guy, you are.
Yeah, if you're a real stand-up gentleman, that's not good business. To be clear, I would just buy it for what it is. But if you're a Coops Collect or a Beer Dad and you have thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in through chat, you could do that.
Yeah, dude, well, you say that because I do have to bring up the story because we had at our card show we had a trade night, right? And this, I won't say any names, but there was a trade that was happening. Okay. And one of the vendors, and this was a trade between, I'm not going to say vendors. Anyway, there was a trade happening between two people. One guy was wanting to trade for this other guy's higher end card, right? So he was, pulling together 3 or 4 slabs, right, to get this guy's one slab. They finally agree, and this guy over here is like, "Hey, man, I'm not really agreeing, with our market price here. We'll say the market price was $2,000, right?" And he's like, "No, I'm not liking that. Based on the recent solds and based on the availability and all this stuff, I think 1,800 is a better price to be at to call it market." Right? Because when I was hosting trade night, I said, "We guys, it's be gentlemen. This is a trade night. It's 100% value.
Yeah,
okay?
We're not doing percentages.
We're not doing percentages here. Okay, so come up with a market price that you guys agree on, and then execute the trade. All right."
So he was basically throwing a percentage on the market price.
So he was basically throwing a percentage on the market price. He's like, "Hey, I'm not enjoying this $2,000 mark. Let's agree on the market price of being 18." Right. And so this vendor that actually has the 18, he's, looking at prices and stuff. And he's like, okay, well, let's see. And then they go through and they agree on the market price for the other smaller ones. Right. They execute the trade literally within 20 minutes. I look on this guy's story. He's got the higher card that he just traded. And he goes, "Guys, for sale, $2,000.
Yeah.
Yep. I was like, dude, I almost exploded. It made me so mad. I was so pissed off, and I know I don't have a right to be pissed off, right? Because it was their trade. It was executed there, but he posted it immediately for $2,000. He goes, "No, I don't like that market price. We got to get that market price to 1,800. I think that's what it's that's what it's worth." Right?
So I can flip it for 200 bucks.
So I can flip it for 200 bucks more. Right? It was
wild,
bro.
Okay. This is a question I've wanted to ask you for a long time, and I forgot until now.
Okay.
private sales happen all the time,
Yep.
right? Through Instagram stories, DMs, Facebook Marketplace, what.
Yeah.
You're a vendor.
Yep.
So I am of the belief that if you're interacting with a vendor and it is not at a card show,
Mm-hmm.
then you should not be throwing percentages around. Do
Huh?
you agree with that or disagree with that?
You're saying if you're talking to a vendor about we'll say a product and you're talking about
I'm trying to sell
percentages.
a card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to sell a card. There's a bunch of I posted to my story or blah 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 or marketplace is probably the more realistic for most of our viewers.
Yeah.
And I have a vendor. A vendor reaches out on my listing
Yep.
and says, "I'll pay you 80%."
Yeah.
Why?
Are you asking
Why?
why?
Why? Yeah. Why would I do that?
Why would you
Like,
sell? I mean, easy
why would
answer.
I sell 80%?
Easy answer. You need the money.
Yeah, that's the only thing because when you think about it, typically you trade at a percentage at a card show because you're trying to cover the costs of the vendor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, there's no cost when it comes to buying my card off Facebook Marketplace. So, but I do understand that they're trying to make money. But
Yeah.
now I see everybody and their mother trying to do percentages
Oh
because
yeah.
everybody's trying to make money off Pokemon cards.
Yep.
So everybody just calls themselves a vendor. They're like, well, dude, I vend, bro. And then they don't even vend.
You're not wrong. That happens all the
So,
time still, and it's going to continue to happen. There's no stopping that.
so then my question to you is this. Does market exist?
Dude, now you're getting super all right. Does market exist? Market is essentially so if you think about it like this. I sell you a card for $1,000, right? And
Yep.
we do it through eBay. Okay? Is that now the established market price or is that just a price that you are willing to pay? Why should that price have an effect on, we'll say, another podcast, a decision to buy that card for $1,000? Should that have any influence? Because an item is only worth what you're willing to pay.
That's why I find so interesting.
Yeah.
And everybody talks about, listen, so this is my theory, and I want you to critique my theory.
Okay.
This is what I stated at the card show, because I had people coming up to me and asking me, which, by the way, thank you guys for watching the podcast, and for the one guy who said, I don't like your takes, thank you for watching. That was an interesting interaction. Fair. Everybody's got an opinion, bro. I had a lot of people ask me questions, and one of the questions was around market price, and this was my answer. I said, market price is not real unless you have a brick and mortar store or you have an online storefront. And what I mean by that is that is really the only time you are selling at market is when you are selling with a brick and mortar store or on an online storefront where people can't ask for discounts. Because if you're buying on eBay, it's not market price because eBay takes 13%, right? If you're buying at card shows, right? Typically people haggle down and vendors definitely aren't buying at 100%, right? So market actually doesn't exist outside of those two realms. Well, actually, and the third realm would be collector to collector, right? Where both of them are collecting, both of them have something that the other wants for their collection and not for a monetary perspective. My example there is I met an individual. I'm searching for every ETB ever made. They know about this goal of mine. And so they said, hey, let's find something in your collection I'm interested in, and we'll do a straight trade, right, of market to market. That's the only other time I see market.
All right. I'm not saying that I am in total disagreement with your argument there because there are associated costs with running the storefront, right? And there's associated costs with running an online website.
Sure.
I think we're getting way too deep into the theory behind market in general.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if I were to put a definition on market, it would be the cumulative. Well, is it better to say cumulative or average?
It's probably average.
I think it would have to be the average price given to a product behind, we'll say mass
That is
purchasing.
being sold. That is being sold on the secondary market
Yeah,
across a broad spectrum.
yeah.
That's the market price.
That's
Whether you're buying off TCG Player, whether you're buying off
exactly.
eBay, whether you're buying off a storefront,
Hmm.
you just start to look at, and to be honest, that's why eBay and TCG Player kind of drive market price, because they're the ones who make the
They
sales
compile the
public.
data.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then because then if you start arguing about markets, then you got to argue about different markets. You got to remember, dude. Like, guys, I don't know if you know this. Genelac and other people back in the States actually buy quite a bit of product for me and ship it over here to the UK because then I sell it over here because the
Yep.
market availability for product is extremely low here compared to the US, right? So
So it's going to be
prices
more
are
expensive.
higher over here. So
Yeah.
I can pay 90 to 100% in the States and then sell it for what in the States looks like 120 to 130%.
Yep.
Right. So now
Because
you're
it's
getting
all
into
about supply and demand, baby.
exactly. So now you're getting into a different argument behind market. But I like the idea. I'm very curious to know your guys' opinion about that. What
Yeah,
your
it's a tough
definition
one.
of market would be, because that's yeah, it's a head scratcher a bit, but it's getting very theoretical.
I'm going to be honest. The reason that this even came up is because people were asking me when they should walk away from a deal.
Oh, when should somebody walk away from a deal, buddy?
And my answer was, when you can't, like, it's personal. It's all about how much you're willing to pay, right?
Yeah.
And so, yes, I would say market price is a good thing because it gives you a general idea of how much other people are paying.
Yep.
That doesn't mean that's what you're willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
If you don't want it that bad, you probably shouldn't be buying it, or you're going to throw out a lowball number and you're okay if you want to buy it.
Yeah.
If there is an ETB and it's the last ETB that I need and I can't find it anywhere,
Yep.
I might not care what the market price is.
No.
I might be like, brother, what are you in on it for? If Scout bought it for 10 grand and he wants 16, and I'm like, dude, I just don't have 16, but I really want this box.
Yeah.
Can we do 12? And you'll be like, I'll still make $2,000, but that's kind of a bad deal for me because I know how high the demand is for this. So it's all about a negotiation. So
Yep.
that's what I told them, is it's about how bad do you want it, how much can you afford, and how much more do you want it over the average consumer.
Yep.
The Lovebirds is a great example. I don't know why people keep talking about how the Lovebirds are overpriced. The Lovebird PSA 10 Pop, do you know what it is?
Couldn't tell you.
It's like in the 2000s.
Wow.
It's that low. Oh, right? It is that low. And so when I think to myself, how many people want that card for a wedding gift? You name it, right? There are way more than 2,000 people that want that card. And so that's why the price continues to go up, because what we're talking about is you are competing against other collectors. And it's always been that way. There is only one David statue. If you want the David statue, you are going to have to outbid every other person on the planet that wants the David statue.
That's a really good argument.
And some people are richer than you. So they will get it over you.
A lot richer.
Right. So that's what I'm talking about, of like, if there's a grail that you're working towards, great, work towards it. But then don't let it walk away because it's 10% over market.
Yep. Wow.
Like, it's all about what you want. Now, if you're operating in a business sense, that's a completely different argument. And I'm not going to speak to that right now because that's a completely different strategy around, market, what's going to go up in the market, what's going to go down in the market, right? What your margins are. Yep. That will be a part of our training course that Critical Hits is going to release for mentorship for $20,000 each.
Oh my god!
Right.
Yeah,
so that was my answer. My answer was
that, ever.
No, we aren't. But my answer was, how bad do you want it?
Yep.
Honestly, it's like, how bad do you want it, and how much and can you afford it? It really is that simple.
No, that's a really good answer. Well, you just brought a question to my attention because this is something that I was actually asked by another vendor, and it was more, what's my favorite, right? But to you, buddy, what do you think is a better deal? An all cash purchase or a cash and trade deal?
From whose perspective?
From the vendor's perspective. What is better for the vendor?
I'd say it really depends. I would argue probably cash plus trade, because they're going to be getting, you typically take trade at a little bit better of a percentage and you can sell it back out.
Oh yeah.
but it depends on how they do their cash and trade, because a lot of cash at 70% and trade at 80.
Yep.
So now it depends, what can that vendor go use that cash for, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they could go buy at 80%, then it's better to have the cash,
Yep.
right? Because that's a 20% delta net.
Yep.
So I would say probably all cash, but that's why they take it at a lower percentage too.
Mm-hmm. So the reason I asked this is because I was, having a discussion with another vendor, and they were talking about the purchasing for from people, right, that we'll say are too deep in the hole, right, and just need cash, right?
Yeah.
Let's say there's a big ass collection. It's $50,000 worth, right? So
And they have
75%.
75 grand in credit card debt. LOL.
Yeah, exactly. They got 75 grand in credit card debt, right? But they're like, hey guys, I'm not going to take any less than 90%. Now, granted, they're probably deep in the hole in some other fashion that they're trying to sell this for $50,000. And I was talking to him, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, buddy. I watched the guy literally offer him 68%, and the guy had to take it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my God, wow, you're kind of right." Right on the vendor side,
Don't put yourself in that situation if you're the guy selling. Like that's
Yep.
again, this is what we talk about, being over leveraged
Mhm.
and needing the money, right?
Yep.
Like over the product.
Yep.
Like that's why vendors get so frustrated with me because I got all this sealed product, and realistically, depending on what it is, it's 80 to 85, right? Is
Yep.
probably a fair percentage. But for a lot of the stuff, I just don't let go of it because I want 90.
Yeah, because you're greedy.
No, it's not because I'm not greedy. It's because I don't need the money. I've had it for a long time. I know it's only going to go up. Specifically, I had the celebrations lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guy wanted to give me 80% for celebrations.
Yeah.
I looked at him dead in the eye and I go, you and I both know this is going to go up, right? And he made a good point of, well, that's speculation. We can't do a deal based on speculation. I go,
Good. I like this vendor already.
listen, he's a great vendor. I'm not, to be clear, I'm not, if he's watching, all the respect to him in the world. It was a strong negotiation tactic. And I said to him, I was like, you know what? That's totally fair. I'm going to hold on to it. And in 3 months, let's talk. Because that's how confident I am in celebrations.
Yeah.
Right?
That's how confident you should be in celebrations.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, I'll just hold on to it for 3 more months.
Yep.
And then I'll sell it to you at 80% then. Because it will have gone up 20%.
I agree. I like it. I like where your head's at here, dude. This is great.
So,
guys, I would, if you're a vendor, remember what that vendor said, and then if you're a buyer, remember what Genelac just said. That was awesome. What a masterclass! Hey, no, right now, $10 tip to Genelac. How dare you?
Just join, become a member of the channel. We want members. Can we start getting? If you guys like our content, please like, subscribe, and become members of our channel. It really helps out the channel, and it helps us keeping this thing going. And because we would really like to keep doing this for you.
Well, if you hate our channel, just comment down below. Genelac sucks with an X.
Yeah, or you could do that. You could do that too. But yeah,
it's only because I like him, guys.
It's been fun though, right? Like I think that people need to become pretty financially savvy in this hobby. We've talked about that a lot, but there's also just ways to do it.
Yeah.
Go find the Michi method and go collect Yamper.
Hey,
I met a Yamper collector over the weekend. It was sweet.
You know what? Okay, so I have put out this free chicken to 15 people in the last 3 days. I don't even know if I've made a video about this yet, but I'm gonna put something out there to y'all that have stuck around for the entire length of this video. And if you're trying to get into vending, and or you are trying to cycle your money, and you're trying to make a little bit of cash, right, just based on buying the dip, right, and then selling at the peak, okay, the easiest thing in the world that you can do right now is focus on the 3 eras and the rotation of the 3 eras. Okay.
And I cannot wait to ask you about this.
And by that, I mean the Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, and Scarlet and Violet, right? Mega Evolutions is kind of in the same realm as Scarlet and Violet because they're both SIRs, right?
Yep.
And like as the chases. So the way that I got started in vending and how it became rapidly successful is because I was focusing on, when I started vending, I had started at the end of Sword and Shield, right? Like right at Crown's Zenith, Scarlet and Violet base had just come out, and that's when I got my start in vending. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to focus on buying tag teams, right? It just makes sense. Let me buy a bunch of tag team singles. Okay. So
tag
at that
teams
point
are dope.
in time,
they're out of print.
Yep. And so, at that point in time, tag teams went whoop and they ramped up. I was like, oh, wow, that's awesome. So I just made a big ass profit because I bought a bunch at 80% and then I held on to them for a while. Okay. Well,
Yep.
then while the tag teams went up, guess what started going down? The Sword and Shield alternate arts, right? The Galarian galleries, the trainer galleries. So what did I do? I bought those, right? And then I hung on and still continued to vend. And then Scarlet and Violet came through. And now I was focusing on collecting Scarlet and Violet. So Scarlet and Violet was going up, right? But what was just coming down off the high? Tag teams, right?
Yep. There's a cycle.
Right. So, guys, there's a cycle to this. If you're getting into vending, okay, and you don't know what to buy, I'm giving you the answers right now. Just see what cycle we're in as far as purchasing product, and then go
Look at
from
what
there.
was popular 3 years ago.
Mhm.
That's what you should buy. What was
Exactly.
popular 3 years ago?
Yep. So if you guys focus on that, you will be successful vendors. I promise you that, right? I'm not gonna, you guys don't
Yep.
need to pay me any money for that. And I don't have to do anything other than just give you that right there. That is going to make you a successful vendor. If you look at what was popular 3 years ago, you are going to make a lot of money in Pokemon. Okay. Period.
Yep.
End of story. And guess what is popular right now? Tag teams. Guys, I bought a PSA 10 Magikarp Wailord Tag Team GX for what I was in for it, basically equated to $2,200.
Yep.
Okay. It is now selling for $5,500. And I made this deal with, shout out to Ashton, right? Love the guy. Great guy. He's got a fantastic freaking collection. We made this deal and he got some kick-ass and Japanese PSA 10 Lugia Legend cards, and I got this Magikarp and Wailord. But it was because I knew that the cycle was coming up for Tag Team to explode.
Yep.
Right? I actually tried to buy a PSA 10 Latios
You got to make some marketplace.
Lovebirds, right? For the equivalent of $12,000 US. Right? This was actually the show before I bought the Magikarp and Wailord. Right?
Yeah.
And then guess what happened? Right? Tag Team skyrocketed. Now the Lovebird sells for 20 grand. Right. So in saying that,
really?
guess what? Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. In saying that, guess what is coming down now? Right. Like what's in the low point?
Alternate arts.
Huh?
Alternate arts.
Sorry, I said that wrong. SIRs are coming down to the low point. Right.
Oh,
so alt arts
true.
are getting ready to shoot up. So if I were you guys, what would I be doing? I would be buying alternate arts. Okay.
That's that.
So
yeah. Sorry, I jumped ahead, class.
No, you're good, right? But that's what I'm saying. So if you guys want to be successful in the hobby right now,
specifically Brilliant Stars, it's insane to me. Oh, Brilliant Stars alternate arts are so low right now. It's crazy.
So if I were you guys, start buying alternate arts because here alternate arts are going to get a, I won't promise that they're going to get a pump, but guys, it looks like a pump is coming.
What do you call somebody who wants to make money off Pokemon cards, but they don't vend? So they're an individual that they have a collection. They do have in their mind that they want to be making money off of the collection over time.
Yeah.
But they only operate in private sales, Facebook Marketplace. They're not vending, Yeah. What do you call what is that? Is that an investor bro? Is that what we call the investor bros now?
I think that term is kind of being hijacked, right? Because this is weird to say that.
This is somebody that's been in the hobby forever, by the way. Like this individual, this type of individual has been in the hobby forever.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So that's not an investor, bro.
Yeah.
I think that term is being hijacked right now because of how popular the Pokemon TCG is, right? And the collector space is. So because back when I got back into the hobby in 2016, right? That's what we were doing was, okay, when we're playing the TCG, right?
Yep.
How am I going to get the better card? Right. Well, you know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to rip some, Unbroken Bonds pack, some XY. Or sorry, I said Unbroken Bonds. You're gonna have to rip some XY base, some Primal Class, so on and so forth. And now I'm gonna have to take those playable cards, and whichever the ones I have more copies of, let me sell to the TCG players, right, that need them, and then I'll go and I'll buy the better collectibles, right, the ones that I care about for my binder. So, I don't think Investor Bros is a correct call. I don't think that's. I mean, I want to call it casual. If you are collecting and ripping packs and you're building binders for the sake of, I like my binder, but I know at some point because of how this market is that I'm going to be able to sell this because I can now pay for something else, right? And I can hunt for something else, or I can make a car payment for the month. Right? Like I got a buddy that he buys high-end cards. He literally listens to me. He says, okay, dude, the 3-month mark is here. I'm going to buy these high-end cards and I'm going to see what happens in 3 months. And I mean, Ascended Heroes. He's buying Ascended Heroes singles because he listened to me and he bought Black Bolt singles. And guess what? He sold a bunch of them, some of them to me. And he was like, oh, dude, I just paid my car payment this month. And I was like,
Yep.
Awesome, right? Anyway, I got derailed there. So I would say that
You're
type of
okay.
person is a casual collector, right? In a sense, because there are some casual collectors that don't sell at all; they only collect, right?
Sure. I would
So
call those the hardcore collectors, though. I
okay,
think the
that's
hard
fair. So now
that's a
now we're
hardcore
pulling out to
collector.
the right and to the left, right? So we've got investor
Yeah.
bros, hardcore collectors, casual collectors.
And so, I'm the first to say that I do plan on making money action, largely to fund the larger projects. I am on record stating I want to make money off every transaction I do.
Yeah.
Why? Because I have goals. I want to have one of every ETB ever made. Anybody
Yep.
ever did math on how much that costs? Go throw that into your collector portfolio. That's gonna make you cry for me, people, when you see how much this is gonna cost me. My other grail is a first edition base set booster box. That's what I started with.
Yep.
I started as a kid on first edition base set. It is so sad to me that I have to have $50 to have that box, but that is a piece of my history. It is a piece of my memory, and I want that box. How do I get there? Well, unless I continue to get raises and bumps at my day job, the way that I get there is through market appreciation of my collection.
Exactly.
Right? So I think people right now are just mad at other people that make money in the hobby. Don't be. It's so normal. It's crazy.
I mean, guys, it's almost
it has been
impossible to
around
not
since the
make
beginning.
money. It is almost
Yeah.
impossible to not make money in the Pokemon space right now. And I mean, again, if you just listen to me on this, you'll make money. I promise.
He's not wrong, guys. It's the one thing that the casual collector has over the vendor. You will make less money than a vendor overall.
Yeah.
But your profit margin should be double or triple.
Mm-hmm.
So you will make less deals. It will cost you less time. It will be less of a focus for you. But it takes longer.
Yep.
So you got to go buy stuff and sit on stuff for months, maybe years, before you see your return. So you have to have a day job to be able to support that. Vendors can't do that very easily. You have to become a pretty large size vendor in order to have a separate stock of inventory that is considered hold,
Yep.
right? Where you're just buying that up and you're holding it because you have to be able to cash flow enough to support your business while also just taking in assets on the side without selling them off. That's hard to do,
Yep.
right? You have to have a certain size and scale to do that. Most businesses don't do that anyway because, well, frankly, it's bad for business. It's bad for your balance sheets. Again, not going to get into that, but yeah, you have a leg up as a casual collector to go buy the things that were popular 3 years ago.
Exactly.
That is the cycle that we've seen so far. I'm not gonna say 3 years exactly, right? Because things tend to go up and down.
Mm-hmm.
But look at Rayquaza right now. Look at Rayquaza.
Yeah.
We all listen. If you weren't buying Rays 3, 4, 5 months ago, you're probably too late.
Yep.
Maybe not. You could probably still buy Rays right now and make money because it's just going to continue to go until Terrain is here.
Yep.
But also, the big bump is probably happening now, right? At the announcement. So, I had a Celebrations Mega Ray that I graded myself. I opened it and graded it.
Yep.
And it was not a sought after card, right? It was probably dude. I think at one point that was like a $15 card. It's crazy to say, but I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
So I sent it in for grading. I just traded it this weekend for $230 in a PSA 10. That's what's at now.
Holy crap. That's ridiculous. Well, guys, hey, if y'all have any other questions about what we got going on and anything about the market, anything about cards that we recommend, we are going to do a couple of other videos, right? We're going to release a couple little short forms for you. But guys, thank you once again for joining us on episode 38 of the Critical Hits podcast. Once again, my name is Trainer Scout.
I'm Gentle Gaming.
And
this has been Critical Hits.
You guys have a very, very lovely day.